Hello viewers, welcome once again to another edition of our literary program. Well, as always, we try to bring you guests who have written works, and today, once again, we are here in the studios and we have two guests with you. They are the authors of this children's book called Taptung Tangthu. Yes, this is a Paite children's book based on Paite folk tales, and the authors who have joined me here in this studio today is Eddie H. Walte. He is the copy editor of Martin Luther Christian University, and beside him is his wife, of course, and she's also the co-author of this book, children's book, and her name is Ngaithianhoih, and she is presently the assistant professor in the Department of English in MIT University. So, well, they have written a book, as I said, called Taptung Tangthu. It's a collection of three folk tales of Paite based of the Paite community, and their intention is to preserve folk tales which are such rich repository of oral literature. And they also have other interest, that is, they have interest is indigenous narratives, they have great interest in children's literature, and in fact Ngaithianhoih is also working with autistic, she's doing her research presently with children with autism. So we will be talking about their interest in this and so much more, and I hope you will be there on the other side to enjoy this conversation that we will be having with them. So may I go ahead now welcome them to our program. To my extreme left is Eddie H. Walte. As I said, he is the copy editor of MLCU, and we also have Ngaithianhoih. She is the assistant professor, Department of English, MIT University. Hello there, and such a refreshing moments for us to have both of you. You know, you are a husband and wife couple to have written a book together, a collection of Paite folk tales, which is called Taptung Tangthu. Yes. Thank you so much for your time, because I know both of you are also busy in your academic activities, but the fact that you all have taken your time out to be present today in this program, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really wonderful to have you. I would like to begin because, you know, folk tales, folk literature, folk stories are there, I think, in every tribe, every community, especially in the Northeast. And so I would ask this first question: what inspired the both of you to pick up folk tales as a form of, stories, and to come up with this book that is called Taptung Tangthu? Yeah, Eddie, if you can share with us.
Yes. Why we pick up these folk tales? Yes, these folk tales. I'll just name them. The first folk tale that we picked is the Ngaithianhoih, and the second is Ngaithianhoih, and the third one is Van Leng Tanu. These three specifically are one of the more popular ones. Okay. I'm not saying that the others are not as popular, but they are more prominent. They are more, let's say, popular than the others.
Yeah.
So, they have very, how do you say, this cultural and traditional values that they teach about the Paite society, and that it has moralistic values to teach as well.
Okay, wonderful.
So Ngaithianhoih are basically we even have songs about them. We even have poetry about them. So one of the very popular one, Ngaithianhoih, is also another story about this lady who has very long hair, shiny long hair. Another very popular again, and then Van Leng Tanu is also the same popular folk tale, like the rest we picked.
So what I understand, you have picked up the most popular folk tales, and you wanted to present it so that they are more well understood and more well related to, especially by the younger generation. Let me come again to that question. What is the meaning of the name called Taptung Tangthu? I mean, what is the significance of this name, and why did you all put this name as the title of your work?
Well, Tap stands for heart.
Okay, heart.
So usually, olden times, because it's not very much prominent these days.
Yes.
So we sit by the fire, beside the hearth, and our parents, our grandparents, they tell us stories. So it's like, you know, the oral narration passed down from generation to generation. So we wanted to preserve the tub, the hearth.
The hearth.
Yeah, so we named the book Stories Beside the Hearth.
Okay,
Yeah.
so wonderful. I think these are some of the little memories that children, I mean, maybe my generation or a bit later also can relate to, because those days, you know, much of these stories would be told by our seniors, you know, grandparents and parents, probably sitting cozy in the kitchen or outside in the sunshine, right? And you have also made this book as bilingual, because the same stories also is in English, you know. So Eddie, did you do that purposefully so that it has a wider audience as well?
Yes, yeah, this is one thing that we do, especially in the Martin Luther Christian University Press.
Okay.
So we have also other books which we publish bilingually, like in Khasi in English, and Garo in English. So this, the intention of doing this is to help children, when it comes to children book, to help children learn the language even better, so that they grasp the meaning of some terms they might not have heard before. Like, yeah, it's easier for children to learn the language, and sometimes, yeah, it helps flow the story in a how do I say, in a fluent manner, where you can just read through it. So yeah.
And it is true, you know, because Northeast has such a rich repository of these folk traditions, folk tales, etc. And it's good that it is bilingual, because it can definitely reach to a larger audience even outside the region, you know. And it becomes literally a children's knowledge book for other communities, for other people also in the rest of the country and the world, right? And these stories are, as I said, you know, these stories need to be retold, because somewhere down the line, you know, Thian, do you feel that these are becoming forgotten? You know, nowadays parents don't have the time to really sit, neither do children, because they're so, you know, in gadgets and other activities, that maybe these, if you don't preserve it in the manner that you all have done, it can lead to, you know, we can actually lose them. Do you feel that's also another fact?
Yes, I do feel, and it's mandatory, I feel, for parents to you know, inculcate this type of experience to their kids, because teachers, they have separate responsibilities in schools. It's a different institution, but then at home domain, with, you know, with the help of our book, when, let's speak in this manner, no, in this context, taking the book for example, it can help the parents also to relearn maybe some components, you know, that was once gone. And then now children can also learn together with the help of this book and their parents. So maybe,
and it creates a lot of bond also.
Yes,
bond, you know, can preserve that bond and bring it alive also if it is forgotten.
Yes.
And you know, because children's book, I've seen children enjoy it with illustrations, and I can see there are a lot of illustrations that you have, you know. So how did you all go about you know, working with your illustrator to bring these stories in a picture form and literally bringing them alive? Eddie, how was the process like?
So the illustrator here in the book, you can see, her name is Ngaithianhoih.
Okay.
She is actually a very young artist. She's still in her college days. She's studying in Guwahati actually. And so we got in touch with him through the editor, who is Ngaithianhoih. He has a contact with her. So Ngaithianhoih, she is actually in Guwahati while we were in the process of making this book. We were not actually together. So there is this gap that was there, but we managed to communicate with her. And as I have said in the beginning, that these are one of the popular ones, the folk tales that we have gotten in the Paite folk tale. So I'm sure that she was aware of part of it, if not the entire story about these folk tales. So perhaps she has managed to get an idea of the folk tale even before we gave it to her. So the thing is, the story was laid out and edited in the MLCU press, and the editor was given, let's say, time to edit, and then finally the illustrator was given those stories, and of course the communication happened during that process. So it's something that happened.
And how long did it take for you really to come up with this book? Because it was, I think, published last year.
Yes, it was published December 12th, if I'm not mistaken, during the Winter Tales. Yeah, during the Winter Tales. So it took about almost a year. The proposal came in by January, when MLCU press releases notification for call for books, and that time we were asked to
if you could also
if we could also contribute.
How
so
lovely.
That's how it happened.
I would like to ask, how did you stay focused to the original narrative, yet making it children friendly? Because there has to be, because children cannot every word, because it is for children, I think 11 and above, right? For children, specific age group is for children of 11 years and above. Maybe that also you could tell us, why did you limit? Of course, it's a storybook which they have to read, but then how do you keep the original content, the original story alive, keeping your audience also in mind, that is children?
So we have many terms that, of course, was difficult to translate. And then the original words in Paite itself are sometimes, folk tales are sometimes scary, But then we tried to keep the original form, the word in original form, and then if it's a little out of context, we try to we could try to condense it into a different word. So that's how. And also it's a challenge that has also become a challenge. So now, the essence is not gone, because we don't want to modernize it too much for contemporary readers as well. So that's how we did it.
Otherwise you lose the originality. The original
essence would be gone.
And any kind of other challenges you face, especially because it's always very difficult to translate, your own language to English, because there are certain terms maybe the other language doesn't have, and it doesn't match exactly. So what are the other kind of challenge you probably faced while you had to do the translation?
Yes. So another challenge that we face is there are a lot of varieties of this folktale itself. Like the folktale of Thangho Liando, sometimes as folktales are orally transmitted, sometimes the way I know and the way Tian knows these stories are not the same. So it's not the same with my community and another community also, like even within this let's say bigger Zou community, let's say. So the Paites and the Vaipe, they have their own variety of the Thangho Liando. For example, in the Vaipe folktale, Liando perhaps is the elder sibling, while in our variety it's the Thangho who is the elder. So something like that, challenges like that happen, the variety. But these things we try to let's say of course we did a disclaimer about it, saying that these are something that happened.
At the end, but you tried your best to stick to the original. Exactly. And this is a challenge indeed, because as and thank God people like you are preserving them, because otherwise these oral form of storytelling are actually disappearing, and it's so important to preserve them. Now we will be talking a little bit more, but how about reading a portion of a story, maybe a portion of a story, either of you, and tell us what was it all about.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll be reading from the first story, Ngaithianhoih Liando. It's about two brothers. Their bond, it's out of this world, because it shows that it's too strong. Nothing can separate their bond. So I'll be reading the last page, the last two paragraphs. As time passed, dear grandma, as she was getting frail, decided it was time to leave. She gave the brothers one final task: to offer a piglet sacrifice every year at the Sumtong, the rice milling place. She then vanished into the mist, never to be seen again. Years later, Liando's wife was swept away by a river. Grieving deeply, Liando composed a mournful song, his heart breaking for the love he had lost. Liando passed away before Ngaithianhoih, and one day Ngaithianhoih visited his brother's grave, composing a song of remembrance and brotherhood. With tears in his eyes, he sang a song of love, knowing he would never forget the bond they share. So these lines, the last lines, it's something that is that reminds humankind and us as a human being how, the bond that we share deeply, be it the love for parents, or any kind of relationship. So it shows how important, and I wanted to highlight that. And in addition to that, we've received reviews and videos about children reading this
nice.
part of the stories, and then their parents would record them crying, or they'll video call us showing that their children are actually crying reading this. And then even we got a comment, WhatsApp message saying that now my son is really loving his sister more than before after reading this story. So I think, this is such a good comment or feedback to receive.
Wonderful. I mean, it is so it really feels good, isn't it? And as the two of you are authors, I think this is something that you all were aiming for, and it was successful. Because books does help, create that bond, as I said. If somebody else is narrating to you, you feel closer to that. And that's what I was coming to another question. How do you think, you've answered it, but still, how do you think these folk tales help preserve, culture and tradition, especially? Because so much of our cultures are getting diluted with westernization, etc. And do you think folk tales and such stories can help, preserve, actually, the culture and tradition?
Yes, of course. First, emotions, right? In folk tales, we find emotions, and we know about the resilience that we have as a community, and also it gives us, respect, moral values more, And I think this world, it's going towards modernization, but if we come back to our folk tales, we have wisdom, and we also know that we should care more for our environment and everything. So I think it's a great way to educate ourselves also.
Adding to that, gives us the sense of identity. It preserves that sense of identity. And even the language itself. Like, for example, we kept this in Paite in English. So the Paite language is preserved in that way.
Absolutely.
Yes. So children who have been living in, let's say, in the city, Delhi, or somewhere in the city, they rarely have the chance to read stories in Paite. So this is a very good way and opportunity for them to learn the language.
And I think children can have a better worldview also, you feel?
Yes,
absolutely.
true.
Absolutely, yes. So speaking of worldview, they see themselves as a Paite child. I mean, they have that sense of identity, and reading through these folktale, I believe they have this sense of, let's say, pride. Sense of the pride and
belongingness.
Belongingness in it. Like whenever they, let's say, they read through such stories, such folktales that they have inherited.
That's a nice word you've used. It's inheritance, right? We have inherited from we don't know
True.
which generation.
That's true.
But then do you also feel that with time they are getting a bit diluted, and therefore what needs to be done? Because, you know, this is the problem with orality also, right? Because it tends to get diluted with time. You know, what it was maybe 50 years ago, maybe there has to be in some. But that is okay also, you think? How do you maintain the, you know, the pristineness of such folk tales, you feel?
I think first of all it has to be properly documented, and then only we can come back and see how far it has come or how far it has gone from the originality, because as you have mentioned, it's about oral narratives now and no documentation. So I feel it's a challenge also. Yeah.
But then as authors, do you also feel that whoever is into such writings, they should actually do a little bit more deeper research before actually going and into publication, so that they can have all the views and then go about to bring the thing of it,
That
you know,
is true.
the purity of it.
And yeah, that is also one thing I want to highlight. We are not called the author here. We are actually called the compiler and the translator,
fine.
because
Yes, I understand.
this is something that belongs to the community,
True,
right?
true.
That we compile and adapted it for
yes,
children.
That's true. That's
So,
true. Yeah. Because it belongs to the
yes.
community at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
You all were only the medium to bring
Yes,
it together.
exactly.
Okay, I know you're being humble also at the same time. But then it is, I'm sure it has been very well received, as you said, you know, you got some rave
than our
reviews about,
expectation.
beyond your expectation.
yes.
And you were saying that, you know, though it is meant for certain age group, but then there were elder seniors also reading, right? Tian?
Yes. Actually, my friends and my family members, they actually thanked us, you know, they're 30 plus, 40 plus, because as I said, oral narrative, so some, of course, some parts went missing already, right, from their knowledge. And even us, you know, we had to reread many times before completing the book. And so likewise, I think it has helped many young adults and even old ones also, not even only the children. So I think,
So what are your future, like, do you plan to bring out more such? Because there are plenty of such stories, and from amongst those you just picked up 3 of them.
That's true.
So you must be having so much of the resources in front of you, which you have to sieve them again and bring them out. Any such future plans, Eddie? What are your in the coming years?
In the coming years, of course, there are plans of redoing or producing more books such as this. Perhaps maybe even more collection, not just 3, maybe more in the next time to come. So
you know, she has read something. I would want you also to share with us, you know, another portion of it before we are almost winding it down, this program.
maybe I can read a portion of Ngaithianhoih,
Okay.
the tale of Ngaithianhoih. This is the second story.
Ngaithianhoih is a lady?
Ngaithianhoih is a lady. I'll just read out some passage from here.
Okay.
So, once upon a time, there lived a kind and beautiful girl named Ngaithianhoih. She had long, shiny hair that flowed like a river. Ngaithianhoih had 7 loving brothers, and they all lived happily in a big, strong house made of shiny metal walls. So since Ngaithianhoih had no sisters, her loving brothers always pampered her like a precious princess. One day, they asked her, "Dearest Ngaithianhoih, what gift would make you happiest of all?" With a cheerful smile and elegance, Ngaithianhoih exclaimed, "Oh, I wish for the sparkling star up in the sky." Her brothers loved her so much that they promised to take the star for her. Before leaving, they advised, "Dear sister, while we are away, don't leave the house. We have left you plenty of food and clothes. Stay safe inside the house." To this, they secured the house with a lock and went on their journey.
Okay. So
So-
did they eventually bring for her the star?
They
I'm more
did.
interested in that.
They did, actually. They did
Okay.
bring back the star. But the main theme of this folk tale is actually the bond again.
Yeah, again,
Yes, the bond that the
Between
siblings,
brothers,
the brothers and sisters, they share. And of course, there is this person, the king, who is portrayed here as the villain, perhaps. So she took this Ngaithianhoih while the brothers are away, and eventually took this beautiful girl, to his own palace. And the story goes where the brothers tried their best to find her and rescue her from that
and
place.
they rescued her back.
Yes, and eventually.
And they lived happily
Yes,
ever
and they
after.
lived happily ever after. Yes.
Oh, how lovely. You know, children's stories, though they are meant for children, but it can equally do wonders for us adults. As I almost conclude, you know, what advice would you like to give to young adults or children who would also like to be storytellers of the future?
Yeah, storytelling. This is something everyone can do.
Right.
Yes. So the thing is, in a way, we are all storyteller, right? Whatever whatever is within us, let's say, our identity itself is a way of telling our stories. Like, are we being paite and talking to you? We are already sharing our stories to you, and knowing more about ourselves is something that we should do. Like our own community, that way we can share more stories about ourselves, our community, to others, and in that way,
and take pride in your own identity, you know, because every community has their own legacy of beautiful stories. One has to go into them, you know, and be proud, and then maybe bring them out someday. Be keen listeners also, and then you can be a good writer too. Thank you so much, both of you. Really, it's been lovely to have, and I'm sure that after this, conversation, many would look for this book. You know, whether they belong to your community or any other community, and try to get some wonderful stories and narrate them to their children. I hope they do. So, Eddie H. Walte and Ngaithianhoih, thank you so much for coming to the studios. I wish you tons of good luck. May you continue to write for all of us, because we all enjoy stories, and all the very best for your future endeavor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's how our literary program was. Yes, we discussed today about a children's storybook called Taptung Tangtu. But then, as the compilers of the story said, that, you know, stories are meant for everybody, and each of us have a story. All we need to do is to listen to it and relate to it, and perhaps also jot down to it as and when we hear and come across that. We will all can be then writers and be beautiful storytellers. Thank you for your time, and until next time, from all of us here is wishing you goodbye.